welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie. If you saw the title of today's video, we are going to be diving into a few things with Amber Heard, and one that a lot of people are talking about in regards to her recently being sued is her book deal. It looks like it might be canceled, and we're going to go into all those details why, as well as we have new information coming out about her insurer, them suing her. There's just a lot going on with this, and it's weird because you keep thinking, or I keep thinking, okay, this is almost the end of the topic, and here we are. This started in what, April? This started at the beginning of April-ish, and now we are literally in the middle of July, and we're still going, but I still find this story very fascinating. It's still something very relevant to talk about, a lot of good talking points, so I'm excited to give you guys all this information. And if you're new, hi, how are ya? Y'all, my name is Katie, and I would love to have you if you like this type of content, so make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, I'm doing my gift card giveaway, $100 gift card. I will be announcing a winner August 1st. This is what you have to do to be entered. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish. You are entered and eligible. And do it for every video. The more videos you do it for, the more chances you have of winning. Almost nobody's doing this. So you guys have a good shot. Good luck, and I will announce a winner. So let's jump on. Also, guys, today I'm trying some different stuff with my dress and my hair. We'll see how Karen my hair gets. Hi guys, when I went to the hairdresser, because y'all know my hair fell out because I got sick, it's growing out, and I was like, do everything you can to not give me a Karen haircut. Hi Karens, hi, I love y'all. This is no disrespect to anybody who's actually named Karen. This is just the meme. But that's the thing, the cool Karens know that there are Karens we can't stand. They get it, right? So yeah. Also, for anybody asking, people have asked, almost everything you see, these are dresses. Almost everything you're gonna see, they're sweater dresses, or they're little flowery, what would you call this, flower dress? No, floral, that's the word, floral dresses. So I do have actual shirts, and I do have what do you call them, turtlenecks, and I do have tops, but I love dresses. Y'all, I have so much clothing, it's absolutely insane. So, okay, I'm trying with my new body to figure out how this all works. So halters, we're gonna give it a go. Now, here's what I wanted to talk about. So, when it comes to Amber's book deal, my Bob sent Sheen. When it comes to her book deal, we have had different reports that it's anywhere between, we've heard that there's a bidding war for $15 million with this book deal. But we've also heard that it's just completely not even true, that the book deal doesn't even exist. Now, I want to explain why the book deal, if it does exist, is in jeopardy, and some of the different elements to that, and a professional and what they have to say, because this is really, really interesting. So with her getting sued by Johnny Depp for slander, defamation, and libel, okay, that's one thing all on its own. And I've already done a video about this where they are going to be concerned to want to take that on in any way, shape, or form, right? Any publishing house. Because if she's already been caught for libel and slander, this could mean that they could be in the crosshairs if they publish somebody, and they publish somebody who knowingly has these issues. But there's a whole nother level and layer that comes into play now. And that level is she is getting sued by her insurance company. Now I want to explain, these publishing houses, these places, they all have insurance for stuff like this, right? That's just this is just standard operating procedure. This is SOP when it comes to a business. But if a business is going to knowingly take on somebody who not only knowingly is a defamer, but has been sued for it, and you're gonna take that person on and put out a book, there is a high probability that if there ever was a book deal, it's done. Because nobody's going to want to take that on unless there is a company and an insurer that says this story was so big that we think the risk is worth it. The risk is worth it, because at this point, they could be sued. If she gets sued again, then, and it has to do with the book. Let's say she puts out a book, she gets sued again. That publishing company is now in the crosshairs of that, and they are now part of a litigation. And does their insurance want to be part of that? So I wanted to go over this so you guys kind of have some understanding that this book deal may not even happen at all. If it's even a thing, that's the other thing. This book deal might not even be real. This may just be a PR spin on her part, trying to show, look, I'm still out here. I'm still a hot topic. I'm still making money. So there's all these different elements that are at play, but there is a guy who owns a small publishing house who really puts this into perspective, and I wanted to give you guys some info on this. So this is from Robert Marks, and it says, Amber Heard probably does not have a book deal. And this is from June 22nd, so this is a little bit older, but this still applies. And again, I feel like this applies even more now that her insurance for her legal fees is going after her. Who is going to want to touch her? Also, the other thing you have to think about is the audience. who's going to want to buy this book at this point? Now, of course, the media, people like me, we want to dive into it and give you guys all the info, obviously. But the public doesn't want to support her. In fact, like Johnny Depp, his record is releasing 18, and this has to do with Amber Heard, right? And Jeff Beck and his little tour that he's doing. And it is being ripped apart by the media. However, so many people are back ordering it simply because they're trying to support Johnny's comeback. Literally don't even care about the music. They just want to support the guy who's, had his life completely destroyed, which I think is great. So, anyways, it says yesterday, OK Magazine published an exclusive story that Amber Heard, fresh off her court loss for defamation against Johnny Depp, has inked a multi-million-dollar deal to write a tell-all book about her relationship with Depp. In fairness to the article, this claim is limited to the headline. The actual text only states that she is in talks to write one. Putting my own owner of small publishing, an author who has been published by larger publishing houses, since I've been published by Pocket Books and Osborne McGraw-Hill, hats. This seems very unlikely. In fact, I would go as far as to say, in my opinion, no publishing house in its right mind would ever think to publish such a book. There are two reasons for this: profitability and liability. Bingo. Look at profitability first. It is important to understand how large publishers operate. Most of their money is made through their bestsellers. These are books that will sell a vast number of copies in a short period of time. The profits from these sales are then used to develop new authors in what is known as mid-list, books that are usually profitable but at a much lower level. If a publisher offers a 7-digit advance for a book, they're expecting it to perform well in their bestseller tier. That's right, you would get some type of advance, you'd get some type of retainer, something up front. Here it is. The term advance is a short form of the phrase advance on royalties. What this means is that the publisher is confident enough that the book will sell a certain number of copies that they will offer the author's share of those sales in advance. The author does not receive any further royalties until all of the advances have been earned back by book sales. This is why many agents will phrase the advance clause as a non-refundable advance. It prevents the publisher from asking for the money back if the book doesn't move enough copies. Interesting. So the question in terms of profitability is whether a book by Amber Heard will sell enough copies to warrant paying her a 7-digit advance up front, or in this case, a reported 8-digit advance. And here, the answer seems to be a resounding no. A test screening of Aquaman 2, where Heard had over 20 minutes of screen time, resulted in #boycott Aquaman 2 trending on Twitter. A well-publicized interview on Dateline resulted in the show receiving its lowest ratings of the season when the interview aired. It now appears very clear that the public does not care to hear what Amber Heard has to say at this time. The second issue is liability. Any publisher large enough to offer a 7-digit advance to anybody is also going to have a legal department whose job includes vetting potential books for liability concerns. There are a number of questions that must be considered in a tell-all memoir. Will those mentioned in the book take legal action for defamation? And we see yes, and multiple, because now we not have just Johnny going after her, but we have the insurance for all of her legal bills going after her. So it says, whose job includes vetting potential books for liability concerns. There are a number of questions that must be considered in a tell-all memoir. Will those mentioned in the book take legal action for defamation? If legal action is taken, will the case be winnable? Will the publisher's liability insurance cover any of the legal costs? There we go. Will any of the costs be recoverable in other ways? Like, for instance, okay, will the reward be worth the crap that they get, right? Are they going to make so much money that it won't matter if they get sued? That's the kind of thing that, like, risk versus reward, right? It says, in the case of a book by Amber Heard about her marriage with Johnny Depp, the liability risk would be massive and overpowering, to the point that even an acquisitions editor had believed Heard had offered her a book deal. The legal department would go out of its way to end it. Agreed. The problem is that the allegations made by Heard have already been found to be defamatory by the American Court of Law. There it is. As such, any American publishing home publishing a book with these allegations face what is, in all probability, an open and shut legal proceeding against them. Contrary to what OK Magazine article suggests, this is not likely to be a defamation action. Instead, this is more likely to be an injunction to stop the publication of the book on the grounds that its contents have already been determined to be defamatory in court. Once the injunction goes through, the book would have to be strangled in its proverbial crib. Or put another way, any publishing house considering such a contract would be better served by tossing the entire budget for the book's advance, editing, and publicity into a bonfire. At least that way they'd get something nice to watch when the money burns. The book itself would never see the light of day. So why the exclusive news report about it then? This is where it's going to get interesting, and I'm going to have some tidbits on this. The wording itself is meaningful in the degree to which it is meaningless. The article states that Heard is already in talks and is excited about, but this doesn't indicate that a deal is close to being on the table or even that anybody is giving the project serious consideration. Instead, it could mean little more than Heard having sent out some inquiries and her emails not bouncing. No publisher is named, nor is there any timeline for publication mentioned, which is suggestive that no publisher has actually expressed interest. This is assuming that the claim of discussion is true at all, and considering the source, there is at least some likelihood that it's not. But this could be an attempt by Heard to signal to publishers that she wants to write a book in the hopes that at least one will be interested and contact her to secure the publication rights. Making it appear that she is in active negotiations could be used to create the impression of a bidding war, as I said, raise the value of any offers made. This makes far more sense as far as explaining this article than the idea that an actual negotiation is taking place, since publishers prefer to announce upcoming books after their contract is signed, as opposed to publicizing the contract negotiations. Of course, the problem with all of this is that, as mentioned above, no publishing house in its right mind would likely touch this book, even if it got to the point of a contract being signed. The legal action that followed would prevent it from ever being published. As such, as a piece of legitimate news, it is extremely unlikely, and an attempt at outreach to publishers is almost certainly futile. Let's dive in. I completely agree with this, and this is so much of what I've been saying when it comes to business, when it comes to what she is doing. I think, and now we know this, we know mainstream media is on her side. Like, that's not lost on any of us, right? In fact, when it comes to the mainstream media, and I haven't even gotten to this part yet. There's just so much to cover with this. My goodness. Dateline just put out, its little documentary on this situation. And I haven't yet seen it, but from the clips I've seen, from the little bits that I have seen, it's all about how Johnny Depp's this horrible person, how social media is to blame. I like how they say social media is to blame. You know what that means? It means we are to blame. We are social media. We are the one driving it. So when they say that, it's all these buzzwords and buzz phrases to try to confuse people and manipulate them. They are blaming us. They're blaming us for seeing that Amber Heard lied. It's our fault. We should just be stupid and we should just swallow any narrative that they put out there, right? But the mainstream media, as I said, is definitely on her side. And they will publish stories to make her look good and to make her look bad because they need to further this narrative. And the narrative is that believe all women, period, point blank, end of discussion, and let's destroy all men. Now, I do believe, like I've said, this is the hard part. Both sides are correct. There are so many reasons why women, when it comes to situations where they are in situations that aren't safe, especially with men, there are so many reasons we don't have evidence. So and that needs to be a bigger conversation because people say, where's the evidence? Many times we're not allowed to even get it or have access to it or to be able to collect it because of our situations. But here's what I see the media doing. The media is taking what is and this is what they always do. They take something that's an actual issue, which is women getting hurt by men, and we know men get hurt by women. We're seeing it here, right? It happens both ways. But they're taking a very complex, complicated situation, and what they're trying to do is just destroy people left, right, and center with it without any possible basis, sometimes in reality. Literally, somebody making an allegation ruins your life. And that is not okay. But it's also not okay for women to be going through this stuff and to be in situations where they can't have evidence because of their situation. This is the thing. They try to pit us against each other when it's, both things aren't okay. And this is the other part that I keep screaming about that really drives me nuts, about all of this. Where is forgiveness? Where is it? If you don't have forgiveness, you don't have change. And if we're not doing any of this, if we're not talking about any of this to make positive change, then what is the goal? Is it to spin narratives? To get us to fight one another? Because if we fight one another, then we can be controlled. We can be controlled by the psychopaths at top, and that's all that they do. And they do this with everything. They do this when it comes to minority issues. Don't get me started on minority issues. Oh my God, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that the media, has now this big push about how awful things are for minorities. And they are. They are. They absolutely are. It's unfair. And has the media done anything to fix any of it? Or are they just pitting us against each other? Instead of all of us coming together and going, hey, minorities have gotten a bad rap. Let's all step up together and let's help make things fair for them and make things better for everybody. No, that's not what the media does. They want us to fight each other. And this is what drives me nuts. So, in all of that, sorry, y'all know me though, I get little side tangents. What is going on with me? Y'all know when I'm having, okay, my face is really puffy today. Yesterday I had to do to those of you that watch me, I got chronic health issues and I can't eat much, but every few days I do have to eat. And I had what I call a food day yesterday. And my face is really puffy and my brain's a little foggy. So I think, and today I'm just like, oh, it hurts. And I'm like, I think this is what y'all normal muggles go through with a hangover. I say that because I've never been drunk and I can't drink. But it's the same process, carbs and sugar in your liver doing funny things, right? Similar processes, different, but similar. But anyway, so my point in saying all that is, we know that the mainstream media is going to be on her side because what they are doing, in my opinion, is they're taking the situations heard in Depp and they are once again trying to create these narratives to divide us and control us. So they are going to post stuff that's pro-Amber. And of course, they're going to post stuff that's going to make it look like she is a hotter commodity to make money off of than she actually is because it only furthers their narrative. Again, and it just drives me nuts. We never actually fix anything. Never fix anything. They take real social issues and just use it to make us worse and to make us just angry and bitter at the wrong people. So I could definitely see what's going on here being a PR stunt by Amber. This could just be a PR stunt of her trying to create a bidding war, trying to create all that. And that it's probably fake. And I think that if there is any book deal, it has been canceled. Nothing is coming of it. And here's another thing. We're not hearing anything of this. We haven't heard anything for a while. And I think it's because we don't just have one lawsuit, but now we have two. Nobody's going to touch her. And I'm going to call it. I don't think this is happening, but we'll just have to wait and see. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments. I always like hearing what you guys think. You have interesting thoughts and opinions. And I do. I read all the comments and I try to like them best I can. And guys, remember as well, if you like this content, I would love for you to come out and just hang out every day. We just hang out and giggle at all the dumb stuff in the news. And all the silly things, and I just give my perspectives, and I would love to have you here, so make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and $100 gift card giveaway. Again, really simple. All you have to do, like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish, and boom, you're entered, you're eligible. That's all you have to do. Do it for every video you see, and that way you can be entered even more times. Nobody's doing this right now. Very few. A few of my babies. Hi, babies. But you have a good shot. I'll announce the winner August 1st. Otherwise, I'm going to go make more content and try to be sane. Or appear sane. Try not to look too hungover. All right, seriously, I eat a taco and I get hungover. My body is silly. All right, guys, take care. Lots of love, lots of blessings. Till the next video, I'm giving everybody hugs. Mwah, kisses, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.